It's not like she was actually interested in Luke. Okay, who cares? Did her lips touch his? What's up, Ari Avengers? I'm really tired. Like, I'm really fucking tired. But, ooh, what was that? But, as most of you know, I finally finished the Star Wars trilogy, which was the original trilogy that came out back in like the 70s to 80s. Now that that's done, I was kind of thinking that it would be cool to actually give my thoughts on the trilogy as a whole, and in doing so I actually came up with some things that might piss a few of you off. I don't know how much it's gonna make you guys mad. To be honest, I don't care if it makes you guys mad. Like, I'm allowed to have my own opinion. Hello. Yeah, so I actually came up with how many? Hold on guys. I came up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 unpopular opinions. Now, before I get into the video, I just want to say thank you so much for all the new people that have subscribed. I feel like the reaction to Return of the Jedi has been my best. That is on track to be like my most viewed video ever. In addition to getting new subscribers, I've also noticed that I am getting more female subscribers. When I was looking at all my subscribers and I was looking at my count go up, I'm like, where are the Star Whores? Like, where are the BITCHs? And then I ended up noticing like the past day or so that I'm little by little getting like more female subscribers. So that's really dope. That makes me happy. That makes me excited. And it's cool to see a different perspective on it because I don't think I've had a lot of female Star Wars fans comment on my stuff just yet. So this is definitely like giving me another side of it and showing me like a lot of them have very similar stories about how they got into the franchise, very similar to like how I got into Marvel and anime and all that stuff, like whether it was male cousins or male siblings and all that stuff. That's kind of how it happened for me. So I don't know, it's just cool to see like a different dynamic or a different perspective. The trolls are also growing. It's not like the trolls bother me or anything. Like, it's actually pretty fucking funny when they comment and say stuff. But you know, sometimes you do look at something and you're just like, damn, that's kind of harsh. What was the reason, bitch? Then before I can even say it, you guys are in the comments like, yo, what's your deal? What's your damage, Heather? I love it and I appreciate it, and I'm feeling the love tonight. It means a lot to me, more than you guys even know. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into my 6 unpopular opinions about the Star Wars franchise, episodes 4 through 6. Unpopular opinion number 1. Luke and Leia being related adds nothing to the story. Now, I understand that this is something that is probably going to come into play, whether in the prequels or in the sequels that came afterwards. However, for the original trilogy, if we're just confining it to its own story, them being related adds nothing to the narrative. It doesn't add anything. It's thrown out in the air, the Empire Strikes Back, that Yoda says, like, it's okay, there's another. They're alluding to the fact that if Luke ends up going over to the dark side, there is another hope for taking down Darth Vader and taking down the Emperor and his empire, which, as we obviously learn, is Princess Leia because she is a Skywalker. But nothing ever happens with that. This is why in my review of The Empire Strikes Back, I made the prediction that Darth Vader would either die protecting Luke or Leia, or that the Emperor would get taken out by a combination of Darth Vader, Luke, or Leia, because I thought the fact that Leia was related to Luke was going to play some role in the story. However, it didn't play a role at all. Like, literally from start to finish, you take that out, the story is the same. If I'm missing something, please let me know. But as far as I know, if you're confining the story just to episodes 4 through 6, Luke and Leia being related adds nothing, changes nothing. Unpopular opinion number 2. Luke and Leia kissing? Now, this is kind of a controversial one because I actually had some of you guys in my comments justifying the times that they kiss. You guys were really in there and you're just like, okay, but they didn't know. But they didn't know. But they didn't know. Okay, I get that. I get that they didn't know. I also had some people saying that, to be fair, when she kissed him in The Empire Strikes Back, she was just doing it to make Han jealous. I get that when she kissed him, she was doing it just to make Han jealous, that there was no actual real feeling there. But I feel like you guys are forgetting a crucial piece of information. Why the fuck is my chair leaned back so far? There we go. I feel like you guys are forgetting a crucial piece of information, and that is the fact that when, in The Return of the Jedi, when Luke is telling Leia that he is her brother, what does she say? She says,
No. Somehow, I've always known.
That's what she says! That's what she says. So everybody talking about, well, she didn't know. Well, they didn't know. They didn't know. The homegirl just said she knew. If you knew, Miss Princess Leia, baby. Because why were you kissing your brother? Listen, if you want to argue it, hop on in the comments and we can hash this one out, because you're not going to convince me that that's not gross. If they hadn't included that line of her saying, I knew, somehow I always knew, it would have been more understandable. I don't know. That's just me. Unpopular opinion number trace. The progression of Luke's powers, or like his ability to use the Force, I don't feel was paced out very well. We literally go from A New Hope, where he is barely learning to use the Force, doesn't know how to do much with it, is struggling, and then we go to The Empire Strikes Back. He goes to the Dagobah system, he's introduced to Yoda, and he starts training with him, you know? Like, it's one of those things where I can give him grace for still not being very good at using the Force, because in all fairness, he didn't really have a teacher. He had Ben, and then Vader killed him, and then we move on to The Empire Strikes Back. Technically, Luke starts off the story and he's had this ability without anyone to really guide him and show him how to use it. And then that's when he ends up being introduced to Yoda, and rightfully so, he trains with Yoda until he becomes, you know, pretty fucking competent. As far as I know from the story, it does seem like Luke goes to the Dagobah system, trains there, and then when he realizes that Leia and Han and C-3PO and R2-D2 and all of them are in danger, he leaves to go rescue them, which is what we see at the end of The Empire Strikes Back. However, it seems like in The Return of the Jedi, Luke doesn't return back to the Dagobah system until he goes back, in which he finds Yoda on his deathbed getting ready to die and shit. I do believe that he hasn't been back to the Dagobah system since he left to go face Vader at the end of The Empire Strikes Back. The reason that's kind of confusing to me is because how the hell did he get so competent? At the beginning of Return of the Jedi, he's over here knocking motherfuckers out like how the fuck? He don't even gotta touch a bitch to knock you out. So I'm like, how did he get so good? Like, where's the training montage? I don't know much about Star Wars, but I do remember that it was like a big deal, and it was kind of talked about when they had to CGI Mark Hamill's face and make him look younger to do some scenes for like future Star Wars franchise. So I feel like maybe that's when they show him training and shit like that. Again, all of these unpopular opinions are confined within the first 3 movies that came out theatrically. Like, that is what I'm basing this off of. I'm not taking into account anything that comes after. Like, he goes from nothing to kind of something to fucking Jedi Master. I don't know. I wish there would have been like a little bit more about that within the confines of the original trilogy. Unpopular opinion number 4, and this, it's more of an opinion that I have based off of what I saw in my comments to my last video. I tend to have like a section where I make predictions because, you know, I just want to see how well I can like predict how the story is gonna end. I ended up saying at one point in my Return of the Jedi review, I felt like Lando was gonna die. I think I cut some of that stuff out as to why I thought he was gonna die. The scenes leading up to me making that prediction of him dying were basically like Han and Lando talking. It was before they were about to go to like execute their missions. Han just seemed very concerned that he was not gonna see the Millennium Falcon again. Like, he was just very concerned that something was gonna happen to it while Lando was on this mission. I took that as like potential foreshadowing that maybe Han was so concerned because something was going to happen to Lando. I was mentally preparing myself for Lando to die, and that's why I made that prediction. I made the comment that Lando's a black man, and you know, a lot of movies have that stereotype of killing off the black characters, like they're expendable. That was a common trope in Hollywood for a very long time, that the black characters are expendable. We use them for body counts and shit. So it would not have been surprising to me if Lando had died. Obviously, I was wrong about Lando dying, but as some of you guys pointed out to me, I was not wrong about a black person dying, because Darth Vader died. And what color is Darth Vader? Well, I mean, he's a white man, but his suit, he black man. So technically I was right. That could be an unpopular opinion to y'all, but unpopular opinion number 5. Hayden Christensen being the one to show up at the end when Luke looks and he sees the spirit of Obi-Wan and Yoda, and then he sees his father, he sees Darth Vader, but he ends up seeing Anakin Skywalker. My unpopular opinion on this is that I actually think it makes more sense to have Hayden Christensen's spirit there instead of the original actor that played Vader. A lot of you guys said that you felt like it made more sense and it just was better with the original, and I've actually been told that a lot of people don't care for Hayden Christensen as Anakin and actually didn't really like that change. I argue that it makes more sense because that is what Anakin Skywalker looked like before he turned to the dark side. Does that make sense? Like, it's one of those things where his spirit came back where he left off. I feel like it just made sense for his spirit to have come back looking like his younger self. So I don't know, I appreciated it. Like I said, I never knew much about Star Wars, but if you think I didn't know about Hayden Christensen and Adam Driver and all them playing them fucking characters, I'm sorry, but those motherfuckers are fine as fuck. So yeah, I knew who they were. So when I saw Hayden Christensen, it actually had more of an impact on me than I think if I would have seen the original actor that played Darth Vader. I know that Hayden Christensen is a part of the franchise, and I know that I'm gonna watch these prequels and he's gonna be in them. I just feel like there's more material out there with Hayden Christensen in it as opposed to the actor that played Darth Vader at the end of Return of the Jedi. I feel like it has more of an emotional weight, at least for me personally. I just know that I'm gonna be seeing more of him, so it had a bigger impact on me. But that's my unpopular opinion on that. My sixth and final unpopular opinion is that I think watching these Star Wars movies in chronological order for the first time is stupid. And I'm saying this because I have had so many people in my comments talking about, you watched them in the wrong order. You were supposed to watch episode 1 first, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6. Like, okay, Count Chocula or whatever the fuck that vampire is from Sesame Street. Why? Okay, let me take a breath, because this just really annoyed me when people kept telling me this. Like, I get that that's the chronological order, but does it not make sense to watch it in the order that it came out historically? Like, how am I watching it in the wrong order? George Lucas threw them out in this order. He went back and did the prequels, so I get it that like they came out post the original trilogy and everything. I get that. Chronologically, it would make sense. But for me, I want to experience it the way a lot of you guys experienced it when you went to go see it back in the 1970s and 80s originally. You know, like, I want to go through the same thing, and granted, I don't have to wait fucking years to watch the next one. Disney Plus got them all right here for me to watch, but I want to experience it the same way the franchise was experienced originally, which is in order of theatrical release. So yeah, when people tell me to watch it in chronological order, I'm just like, no, because you guys didn't watch it in chronological order. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. I just think that's stupid. I'm gonna continue to watch everything in order of how it came out. That's it, you guys. Those are my 6 unpopular opinions. If you guys disagree with any of it, tough. I don't really give a shit. No, if you guys disagree with something, I mean, the comments are open for discussion. Plus, it'd just be interesting to see how you guys see things. Now, please keep it friendly in my comments. All right. But yeah, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on it, what you agree with me, what you disagree with me. Let me know if you guys like videos like this where I go back and like kind of critique or do reviews and stuff like that. This is kind of a different style of a video for me. I just kind of felt like it's something that I needed to throw out because I did get a few comments talking about how like, oh, well, it would have been nice to have a bit more intellect in your reviews. First of all, I'm not a fucking like movie critic or something. I'm not like fucking Ebert and Roper. Oh, 2 thumbs up. Like, no, bitch. I'm watching it and I'm reacting. Like, it's, you know, and I'm goofy, I'm silly. That's what you're gonna get from my reactions. If you guys like it, you like it. And if you're looking for something more intellectual or whatever, go to another channel. That's fine. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. I do feel like I had more thoughts after the fact, and because I'm watching the film in real time, like, it's kind of hard for me to go through and explain all that stuff. So I think I'm gonna do this at the end of bigger movie franchises like this. Like, I'm gonna do Lord of the Rings as well, just so you guys can actually see a little bit more in-depth thoughts that I had. about the stories as a whole. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. One other thing that I also wanted to get into is I've been getting back into gaming a lot more, and I just recently started playing Star Citizen. You know, going through and like getting more into Star Wars and all that stuff. A lot of my friends were like, well shit, you should try Star Citizen. Like, bro, it's literally like fucking Star Wars, except you're the person exploring. And I started playing it with a lot of my friends, and it's actually really fucking fun. It's a very interactive game. It's beautiful, very immersive. I'm gonna post a few shorts of like my clips of me playing with my friends. And if you guys want to see any more of that, or like if you like what you see with that, let me know. Maybe I'll make like an actual video of gameplay so you guys can see that stuff. But let me know if that sounds like anything you guys would be interested in, and let me know if you've even heard of Star Citizen, and if you have, like, what are your thoughts and your takes on it. But yeah, I really appreciate all of the support and the kind words and the encouragement that you guys are giving me. It's making it a lot easier for me to want to keep like posting and stuff. I'm not gonna lie, some of my older videos I was still trying to figure out like the format in which I wanted to make these. Some video formats, like video essays for example, take a lot longer to edit and put together, especially when you're new to editing. I have an Attack on Titan video essay that I made because that's like right now #1 fave anime, and that video took me like a month of editing because for one, I wasn't super good at editing yet, and it was just a different style. Video essays are a lot more in-depth, like you have to do research, you have to write scripts and stuff. That one took me a lot longer to make, and when you do that and it doesn't get the reception that you were hoping for, it can be extremely discouraging, which is why it took me so long to make my next Star Wars reviews. Honestly, like the reception to my last couple videos has just been amazing. I don't know, I'm just really grateful. Like, you guys are so dope, and it makes me really happy, and like, I don't know, I just appreciate it a lot, and I can't express how happy it makes me when you guys subscribe, when you like, when you comment and engage with my channel. It's like, dude, it's the best. Be sure to watch some of my old videos. You might see something else that you like. I know I don't have many, but let me know if you guys like the format of how I've been filming, the style and everything. Let me know if you like videos like this and all that stuff, and let me know which opinions you agree and you don't agree with. That's all I got for this video. Avengers, disassemble.